All right, starting to do a prep wash on my buddy's Mazda Speed 6 here. The paint's in pretty rough shape, so I'm gonna get it cleaned up and get some lights on it and see what we're working with. And then I'll show you the starting condition of the paint. This car is about, I don't know, 15 years old. It's like a 2007. It's had zero correction work ever done to it, so it should be a fun one to see the results on. All right, got the car all prep washed. Just gonna take a quick walk around video of what the paint looks like before we start any work on it. Lots of swirling. The paint's pretty hazy across the whole surface. The clear coat isn't failed on this car, but it's definitely pretty oxidized. I'll show you in the shade kind of here. You can see spotting and some scratches, and everything else looks pretty good though. The car's in great shape otherwise. The paint just needs a lot of work. I'm gonna do some headlight restoration as well. Pretty foggy, but the plastic underneath looks like it's in good shape. So I think there should be a pretty big turnaround on this car, just considering what this looks like here. I'm gonna go and take some pictures, and then that way we can do a big before and after on everything. But yeah, here's the starting condition. All right, so the plan of attack with this Mazda here, probably be starting with Chop Top, which is a pretty heavy cutting compound. We'll see how that works. If this looks like it's gonna be a little too aggressive, we'll just go back to standard classic cut, which is just a pretty standard first cut compound. Haven't decided on the polish yet, but we'll see how much haze is left in the paint after our compounding step. And I'll either go with classic polish or slick back for a little glossier, like less aggressive cut. And then just a bunch of different pads. Probably mostly be using some microfiber stuff when we're doing the first cut. Probably some microfiber cutting pads down here. And then we'll just be using the root base polisher on this guy. So we'll start getting to work. All right, so I just did a little test spot here. This is just 2 passes with the combination I was telling you guys about, which is the Chop Top compound and then just a microfiber cutting pad. So you can tell just already starting to get a lot of clarity in the paint, lots more gloss. There's still some defects there, obviously, and some hazing left over from the compounding step, but huge improvement over what we started with over here. So just gonna keep doing this, I think, and maybe change it up if I need to, but I think this will work pretty well. All right, so I got half of the hood done with the compounding step already, which I took on a time lapse there, which you'll see. But basically, paint's acting pretty much how I would expect it to. It's responding a little bit slower than I would have thought, so it's taking a little bit more time. But basically, the paint looks really good after just this compounding step. I mean, you can see here, zoom in on like the clarity of those lights. That's drastically increased from what we started with. But overall, it's gonna look really good. Just gonna take a bunch of time, but that's what we signed up for, so let's get it done. All right, continuing to make some more progress on this car. Just finished the fender, now this door. You can see there's still a little bit of haze. It's kind of that like lighter grayish color around the center of the lights. So that'll be taken care of on the next step, which will be like a polishing step to kind of remove any defects left over from the compounding, a little haze and stuff like that, just to bring the gloss to like maximum clarity. But just for a compound, this is turning out amazing. The paint has like way more like sparkle and flake in it than I thought it did. It's starting to look like a car again, so that's good. But we'll keep going. Check back with you later. All right, that's a wrap for day one on this car. Got most of my compounding all done. Pretty big turnaround on the paint. I mean, you saw it before, now you can see it here. Quite the difference. Still have to do some areas of the roof. Got to do the front bumper and the headlights still. Those are completely clouded up, and this paint needs a lot of help down here as well. But so far for day one, I think I have about 9 or 10 hours into this so far, and this is where we're at. All right, starting day two on this Mazda Speed. Still have a little bit of compounding left to do, which I mentioned in the last video clip. Gonna get the roof finished up, the mirrors, the A-pillars and such, bumpers and headlights as well. And then after that, we'll move on to the polishing step. This is turning out to be a full 2-day process, as to be expected, but just a little bit longer, so. All right, just put down my second coat of Shine Supply's Beadlock Pro ceramic coating on this car. Looking pretty good. There's a few areas that I was not able to save, like the spoiler and the mirrors. Those were too far oxidized and the paint was failing on those. But overall, as you can tell, the rest of the car came out phenomenal. This paint looks great. The wheels cleaned up nicely. Everything looks good. The glass looks good. This car has had a huge turnaround from what it came in at. Even the headlights, those were completely clouded up and fogged over. Now you can see those crystal clear. All right, so basically I just completed doing a detail on this Mazda Speed6. This was a car for a friend of mine. Basically did a 2-step paint correction on this thing. So started with a pretty heavy cut compound and then moved to a less aggressive polish to finish it off. This car is black with like a metallic flake. So when the car came in here, it was totally matte basically. There was no gloss left in the clear coat at all. Tons of scratching and swirling. Got rid of most of that through just the compounding step, and then we had to do just a light polish just to bring the clarity into the paint. After that, it was followed up with just 2 coats of Shine Supply's Beadlock Pro ceramic coating. This is a great coating. I use it on pretty much every detail I do. If the client wants to pay for it, it's a great option. I just wanted to do a quick video basically to show like what it takes to do a detail of this level. I'm by no means a professional, I'm just mostly a hobbyist at this, but the time that it takes to do detail is absolutely impressive. Some people underestimate it, but this car I have roughly 20 hours into of polishing, starting with compound, polish, wash, all those steps all above just equal a ton of time into one of these cars. But let the results speak for themselves.